Hi, friends. Today's topic: did ancient rulers really live for thousands of years? In the dusty ruins of ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, archaeologists discovered something truly baffling: a clay tablet known as the Sumerian King List. At first glance, it looks like a simple record of kings who ruled the land thousands of years ago, but as scholars began to read it, they found something astonishing. Some of the kings were said to have ruled for hundreds or even thousands of years. How could that be possible? Was it a mistake, a myth, or a hidden truth lost in time? Let's explore the mystery of the Sumerian King List and ask the question: did ancient rulers really live for thousands of years? What is the Sumerian King List? The Sumerian King List is a cuneiform tablet dating back to around 2100 BCE, although it refers to kings from much earlier times. It was first found in the early 20th century, and since then, more than 15 versions have been discovered, all slightly different, but carrying the same basic story. The list includes both real historical rulers and mythical kings, blending history with legend. It starts with a stunning line: "After kingship descended from heaven, Eridu became the seat of kingship." That phrase alone shows the mindset of the time. Rulers were not seen as mere mortals, but divine or semi-divine beings, chosen by the gods. According to the King List, some early kings ruled for unbelievably long periods. Here are a few examples. Alulim of Eridu ruled for 28,800 years. Alalangar ruled for 36,000 years. Enmen-Lu-Ana of Bad Tabira ruled for 43,200 years. Yes, you read that correctly, tens of thousands of years. These reigns occurred before the Great Flood, a flood which sounds eerily similar to the story of Noah's Ark in the Bible. After the flood, the king's lifespan suddenly dropped to more realistic numbers, hundreds, then decades, and finally just a few years. Scholars have several theories about these incredible lifespans. 1. Symbolic numbers. Some believe these numbers weren't meant to be taken literally. In ancient Mesopotamian culture, numbers like 60, 600, or 3,600 had cosmic or religious meaning. For example, 3,600 was considered a sacred number, possibly linked to the movement of stars. Second, misinterpretation of time. Others suggest the Sumerians used different calendar systems, like lunar months instead of solar years. If years were actually months, then 28,800 years becomes 2,400 years, still long, but slightly more believable. 3. Mythological truths. Another idea is that the list is not just a historical record, but a mythological one, a memory of a golden age when gods and demigods ruled Earth. These kings might have been symbolic representations of early leaders or spiritual figures. 4. Pre-flood civilizations. Some fringe researchers and ancient astronaut theorists argue that the King List hints at a forgotten high-tech civilization before the flood, possibly with longer lifespans due to unknown science or even extraterrestrial influence. While mainstream historians reject this, it adds to the intrigue. One of the most mysterious aspects of the King List is its mention of a great flood. Then the flood swept over. After that point, the list continues with more historically verifiable kings, such as Gilgamesh, who also appears in the famous Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the earliest works of literature. In that epic, Gilgamesh seeks immortality, meets a survivor of the flood, and learns deep truths about life and death. Could the flood have been a real event? Perhaps a massive river flood remembered as a global catastrophe? And if so, was the King List trying to preserve a history older than history itself? Unlike other ancient king lists, the Sumerian King List doesn't just list names and dates. It tells a story. It shows a clear shift from divine to mortal, from impossible to realistic. It also combines data from multiple Sumerian cities, Ur, Kish, Uruk, Eridu, suggesting that it was a unified national narrative created to legitimize rulers by linking them to divine origins. The most complete version of the list was found in Larsa in the 1920s, but fragments have been found across Mesopotamia. Curiously, not all versions agree. Some leave out certain kings, others include local rulers. This has led some historians to think that the list was manipulated for political purposes, possibly to justify a ruler's claim to power by showing divine succession. To this day, the Sumerian King List remains one of the most enigmatic texts of the ancient world. Whether it is mythology, misunderstood history, or a record of a lost era, it forces us to reconsider how early humans viewed time, kingship, and divinity. Did ancient rulers really live for thousands of years? We may never know the full truth. But the Sumerian King List whispers a possibility that the deeper we dig into the past, the more we may find that history and myth are two sides of the same coin. When you read the King List, you're not just reading about kings. You're stepping into the dreams, beliefs, and mysteries of the world's first known civilization. And perhaps, just perhaps, you're touching a sliver of forgotten time that still echoes through the ages. Friends, if you like this article, please like and subscribe my channel Stories and More and share to others. Thank you.